How to construct a lintel beam. I have already provided video on BBS of lintel beam. But what exactly BBS is and why it is being done? So today we will discuss step-by-step process to construct a lintel beam. Means detailed process of BBS of lintel beam. So before we start, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so you will be the first to know when I upload something new. Also follow me on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter for latest updates. Now let's get started. First, what is BBS? BBS or the bar bending schedule for a lintel beam is like a blueprint that tells builders exactly how to prepare and place the steel bars, which is also known as rebars, inside the concrete lintel during construction. It includes details such as height, shape and spacing of the rebars as well as the length they need to be cut to fit properly in the lintel. Essentially, it's a set of instructions that ensures the lintel beam will be strong and stable, able to support the weight it's meant to hold. Okay. So, technically, BBS guides construction workers on how to accurately fabricate and position the reinforcement to ensure the structural integrity and strength of the final construction. It's like a detailed recipe that construction workers follow to build a strong and durable structure. So, hope you understand what is BBS, what is the definition of BBS. Now, what are the materials and tools used for constructing a lintel beam? We will discuss that. What are the materials used? So, first, concrete mix. So, what is concrete mix? Cement, sand, aggregates such as gravel and crushed stone and water are mixed to form concrete. Okay. This is concrete mix. Now, second, reinforcement bars or reinforcement rebar. Steel bars used to reinforce the concrete. These are commonly available in various sizes and grades. Third, formwork or shuttering means plywood, boards or metal. So, formwork is also known as shuttering or molds. Formwork is typically made of plywood, okay, timber, steel or plastic sheets. Now, next, the fourth one, shuttering oil or release agent. So, it is applied to the inside of a formwork to prevent concrete from sticking and to facilitate easy removal of the formwork. Now, fifth one is water. So, without water, we cannot mix, right? So, it is used for mixing concrete and for curing purposes. Okay. Now, the sixth one is reinforcement mesh if it is required. So, in addition to rebars, reinforcement mesh may be used for added strength and stability, especially for larger lintel beams. Next, curing compound if needed. So, if it is required, it is used to retain moisture in the concrete during the curing process and promoting proper hydration and strength development. This is curing compound. Now, eighth one, chairs or spacers. So, it is used to support and position reinforcement bars at the correct highest within the formwork. Okay. Next, ninth, ties or binding wire. So, ties or binding wire are used to secure the formwork panels together and to tie reinforcement bars in place. Now, vibrating poker or vibrator. So this is optional. It helps to remove air bubbles from poured concrete, ensuring proper compaction and minimizing voids. And the last one, safety equipment, gloves, goggles, hard hats, boots. Okay. So these are safety equipments. So personal protective equipment, PPE, including gloves, goggles, hard hats, and steel-toed boot for worker safety. So these are 11 materials. Now we will discuss tools. So what are the tools? The first one, concrete mixer. So first material we take concrete mix. So to mix the concrete we need mixer. The concrete mixer. It used to mix concrete ingredients thoroughly and consistently. Next. So the next one, trowel. So what is trowel? Trowel used for finishing the surface of the concrete and for smoothing out imperfections. Next, level. So it ensures that the formwork is installed horizontally and vertically. This is level. Next one, screws, nails and saw. So screws, nails and saws are used to assemble and secure formwork panels. A saw may be needed to cut formwork to the required dimensions. Okay. And the important one, this is fifth one is very important, that is measuring tape. It is used to measure and mark dimensions accurately for cutting reinforcement bars and formwork. This is measuring tape. Now, the sixth one is hammer or pliers. So, hammers and pliers used for securing ties and cutting binding wire. Next, brusher, sprayer. So, these are used to apply soldering oil or release agent to the formwork. Next, wheelbarrow or bucket. So, wheelbarrow or bucket used for transporting concrete mix to the construction site. So, the next one, mixing trays. Okay. So, mixing trays used for measuring and mixing concrete ingredients. Sometimes bucket is also used for measuring and mixing concrete ingredients. So, both buckets and mixing trays are used for measuring and mixing concrete ingredients. Now, the last one is power driller and screws. So, it is used. So, power driller and screws are used for attaching formwork components together. Okay. So, these are the tools. So, next, construction process of lintel beams. Okay, the step 1. So, now we will discuss the construction process. Okay, so all the detailed steps we will discuss now. So, the first step is designing and planning. Okay, so engineers or architects design the lintel beam according to the specific requirements of the building. This includes determining the size, dimensions and reinforcement details based on structural calculations and local building codes. They calculate the required strength and reinforcement needed for the lintel. Now, step number 2. So, first is designing and planning. After that, material procurement. So, contractors procure the necessary materials such as concrete mix, reinforcement bars or rebar, formwork and other construction supplies from local suppliers or manufacturers. Now, step number 3, site preparation. So, after designing and planning, material procurement is being done after the site preparation. Now, the construction site is prepared by cleaning the area and ensuring a level surface for the construction of the lintel beam. Ensure that the opening for the lintel is correctly sized, plumb and level. So, this is site preparation. Next, fourth step, that is formwork setup. This is very important. Formwork typically made of plywood, boards or metal. It assembled to create the mold for the lintel beam. Care is taken to ensure that the formwork is properly aligned, level and securely braced. Build formwork around the opening to create the mold for the lintel. This can be done using plywood or wooden boards. So ensure that the formwork is level, plumb and properly aligned with the opening. Okay, this is formwork setup. Now sorting oil or release agent is applied to the inside of the formwork to prevent the concrete from sticking. Okay. Now the fifth step, reinforcement placement. Now we have to do reinforcement placement. We have to place the reinforcement now. Reinforcement bars or rebars are placed inside the formwork according to the design specifications. This involves positioning the rebars with the correct spacing, alignment and overlap as required for structural integrity. Chairs or spacers are used to hold the rebar in the correct position, ensuring it is centered within the lintel. Now, sixth step, concrete pouring. We have to pour concrete. So, once the reinforcement is in place, the concrete mix is prepared and poured into the formwork. Contractors use tools such as concrete mixers and vibrators to ensure proper mixing and compaction of the concrete, mixing air voids and achieving uniform distribution. The concrete is mixed according to the specifications of lintel, typically using a concrete mixer or by hand. Sometimes it is mixed by hand also. Concrete mixer is poured into the formwork starting from one end and moving towards the other. A vibrator is used to remove air bubbles and to ensure the concrete fills all voids. Sides of the formwork is tapped to help release trapped air. This is concrete pouring. Next process, finishing and curing. After the concrete is poured, it is leveled and finished using trowel to achieve a smooth surface. The lintel beam is then covered with wet burlap or plastic sheeting to retain moisture and facilitate proper curing, which is essential for strength development. This process typically takes several days. Now, next step, removal of formwork. So, after finishing and curing, we have to remove the formwork. Once the concrete has cured to the required strength, the formwork is carefully removed to reveal the finished lintel beam. Any excess concrete or imperfections are addressed as needed. Before applying any loads, the lintel should be allowed to continue curing for at least a week. Okay. So, the next step, quality control and inspection. The completed lintel beam undergoes quality control inspections to ensure that it meets the specified dimensions, strength requirements and quality standards. Inspection is being done to check any cracks, defects or issues are there in the lintel. If any problems are detected, they should be addressed promptly. So quality control and inspection, it is very important. And then additional finishing. So if it is required, depending on the project specifications, additional finishing such as painting or waterproofing may be applied to the lintel beam. So these are the construction process of lintel beam. So throughout the construction process, safety measures are observed and workers use appropriate personal protective equipment PPE to mitigate risks. It is very important. Now, additionally, local regulations and standards are followed to ensure compliance with building codes and safety guidelines. So, these are the 10 steps, detailed step-by-step process, how to construct lintel beam. So, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel.